People who can dance, and often at the very same time. They are a different people, a multi-talented people, a people who need people, and who are in many ways the luckiest people in the world. In any great adventure, if you don't want to lose, victory depends upon the people that you choose. So listen, everyone, closely to this news. We won't succeed on Broadway if we don't have any Jews. You may have the finest sets, fill the stage with penthouse pets. You may have the loveliest costumes and best shoes. You may dance and you may sing, but I'm sorry this may sting. You'll hear no cheers, just lots and lots of boos. You may have bushmen by score, whom the audience adore. You may even have some animals from zoos. Though you've poles and krauts instead, you may have unleavened bread. But I tell you, you are dead if you don't have any Jews. They won't care if it's witty or if everything looks pretty. They'll simply say it's and refuse. Nobody will go, sir. If it's not kosher, then no show, sir. Even goyim won't be dim enough to choose. Put on shows that make men stare with lots of girls in underwear. You may even have the finest of reviews. But the audiences won't care, sir, as long as you don't dare, sir, to open up on Broadway if you don't have any Jews. I tell you, Arthur King, there is one essential thing. There simply must be Jews. There simply must be, Arthur, trust me, simply must be Jews. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. There's a bright golden haze on the meadow. The corn is as high as an elephant's eye, and it looks like it's climbing clear up to the sky. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. All the cattle are standing like statues. All the cattle are standing like statues. They don't turn their heads as they see me ride by. And a little brown maverick is winking her eye. Try it with us. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. All the sounds of the earth are like music. All the sounds of the earth are like music. The breeze is so busy, it don't miss a tree. And an old weeping willow is laughing at me. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tovu manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Oh, what a beautiful day.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
So when I was young, I was sure that I would be a Broadway star. I would be a triple threat, someone who could act and sing and dance. Like Patti LuPone, the original Ava Perón in Evita, or Donna McKechnie, the original Cassie in A Chorus Line. The thing is, though, I never really took dance lessons for more than a year or two. And although I was truly outstanding in the chorus of Jesus Christ Superstar, which is where all good rabbis get their career launch, and I was probably the best female jet of any West Side Story production you can imagine. And I even had a fairly leading role in our senior high school musical. It turns out that Broadway was a bit more advanced than my skill set. But that's okay, because now I consider myself an avid fan of the theater and of Broadway musicals. And it's no surprise that I do, because as a rabbi, I am in the business of appreciating and facilitating moments of awe and experiences of awe for others. And it's what I love to do most. It's what those of us who appreciate theater and musicals appreciate as well. The actors on stage inspire us with awe, both because of their skill, but also because the music itself is transporting and awe-invoking. Music stirs awe in our mind and body. In the words of philosopher Suzanne Langer, music has deep significance. It illuminates patterns of life, teaches us about love and suffering and justice and power, and with whom and where we find our community. And finally, music is so social. For thousands of years, we have been listening to and performing music with others. In music, as a community woven together in sound, we find shared identity. So it's no surprise that as Jews, seeking awe through ritual and prayer and chant, we find that so many significant composers in the realm of Broadway are Jewish. Tonight, we will tell their story because the songs we are about to sing are themselves a kind of Torah. They are, well, Cantor, you tell us.
Yes. So these songs are the inheritance of millions of people who crossed an ocean, who shed their last names, who survived pogroms and poverty, and then, impossibly, miraculously, gave America its most beloved songs. The story begins with catastrophe. In the 1880s, a wave of brutal anti-Jewish violence, pogroms, swept across the Russian Empire, the Pale of Settlement, Ukraine, and Poland. Synagogues burned. Families fled. Between 1880 and 1924, more than 2 million Jewish immigrants arrived in the United States, most of them landing at Ellis Island and making their way to the teeming tenements of New York's Lower East Side. By 1910, Jews made up more than a quarter of New York City's population. And in that compressed, electric immigrant world, something extraordinary happened. They made art. On 2nd Avenue, known as Yiddish Broadway, a dozen theaters ran nightly performances of operettas, melodramas, comedies, and musicals for an audience of over 1.5 million first and second generation Jewish immigrants. This was their world. Yiddish theater, Yiddish vaudeville, Yiddish radio. It was coarse, it was brilliant, sentimental, hilarious, and deeply human. But the children and grandchildren of those immigrants crossed another kind of ocean, the invisible one that runs from 2nd Avenue to 42nd Street. They Americanized their names, they learned English, they carried in their bodies the minor key melodies of the shtetl, the cantorial flourishes of the synagogue, the rhythms of klezmer and the wail of the chazan, and they poured it all into a new art form, the American musical. The composers who defined Broadway were overwhelmingly the children and grandchildren of Jewish immigrants: Irving Berlin, George and Ira Gershwin, Jerome Kern, Richard Rodgers, etc., among many, many others. And what they brought to Broadway was not just talent, it was tradition. Jews had spent centuries reading texts in community, arguing over meaning, telling the stories of their people through song and story. The Shabbat table itself was a kind of theater, with roles to play, melodies to sing, and a narrative arc that moved from darkness to light. When these immigrants entered the theater world, they brought all of that with them: the hunger for storytelling, the love of the ensemble, the belief that music could reach places that words could not. So tonight, we sing their songs as prayers, which is, in a sense, exactly what they always were.
So I want to say first, before we begin, thank you, Cantor Josh, for putting this beautiful evening together, and to our array of incredible voices for bringing our music to life. Now, it would not be a Micah Shabbat, may I have a handheld, if we did not just share a few celebrations, things, simchas we are just have enlightened and brought joy to our week and enlightened our lives this week. So if you have something you're sharing or someone who's visiting with you this Shabbat and you'd like to share, please let me know. Al, coming to you.
Next Tuesday, I get to celebrate my 91st birthday.
All right.
That's impossible. That's amazing. Okay, 91. Yom Haledet Sameach in advance.
I'm happy to see Pam back. It's Pam Simmons, who hasn't been feeling her best, but she looks grand, and we're so happy you're
I
here.
love that. Welcome back, Pam. Glad you're feeling better. Sue, Rebecca, will you pass this back to Sue, please, behind you?
Thank you. For next Tuesday, I am headed over the pond to visit my two wonderful grandbabies in Ireland.
Oh,
for a
safe
few
travels.
days.
I hope that's a wonderful trip. Safe travels. And bring back pictures, of course. Pop up.
56 years ago, I was very busy delivering my son.
Oh. Yeah, you did all the hard work, didn't you?
Next week, my brother is going to be a bar mitzvah.
I know, not
Yeah.
this week. Next week. I told the Khaleesas it was this week, but I was wrong.
Don't scare them.
Left.
Next week, I'm celebrating my 46th.
We say it into the microphone.
Huh?
We say it, yeah.
Next week, I'm celebrating my 46th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that's nice. Tomorrow I'm celebrating my 27th with the birthday baby from today. All right. We probably have more simchas, but is it okay if we go on with the show? Well, we're going to... Oh, we're laughing. Okay. I didn't know if I was missing someone. So, Cantor, will you continue with us?
So we're going to continue with candle blessings. Shabbat candles are lit for shalom bayit, peace in the home. We remember the homes left behind in pogroms, the homes rebuilt in America, and the homes created in song. Fiddler on the Roof by Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick gave voice to the vanished world of the shtetl. Harnick, who grew up facing anti-Semitism in Chicago, said the show helped him reconstruct the shtetl world that had been exterminated.
Sabbath prayer captures Shabbat Eve at its most intimate, blessing children, holding memory and hope together. We sing what our ancestors lived, blessing children as generations have done. Harnick later said that the show's greatest gift was helping people understand what it means to be a Jew, and that is also what prayer does.
May the Lord protect and defend you. May God always shield you from shame. May you come to be in Israel a shining name. May you be like Ruth and like Esther. May you be deserving of praise. Strengthen them, O Lord, and keep them from a stranger's ways. May God bless you and grant you long life.
Fill our Sabbath prayer for you.
May God make you good mothers and wives.
Husbands who will care for you.
the Lord protect and defend you. May the Lord preserve you from pain. Favor them, O Lord, with happiness and peace. Oh, hear our Sabbath prayer. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav etzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
In 1932, in a Yiddish musical comedy called I Would If I Could, a composer named Sholem Sekunda wrote a melody for a song called
Bei mir bist du schön.
To Me, You Are Beautiful. The show closed after only one season. Sekunda, who needed cash, sold the rights to the song for just $30. He did not know what he was giving away.
That was before inflation. Tonight we sing this song not as a relic, but as a triumph. The triumph of a people who took their music with them across the ocean and discovered that it was beautiful to everyone. Bei mir bist du schön is a love song. But it's also, in a way, a love letter from the immigrant world to the new country that had taken them in.
Sekunda spent the rest of his life writing sacred music, prayers, and psalms that filled synagogues across America. He never became famous for that work, the one you will hear, but perhaps that is its own kind of holiness, to write for God and not for the charts.
Of all the boys I've known, and I've known some, until I first met you, I was lonesome. And then you came inside, dear, my heart grew light, and this whole world seemed new to me. You're really swell, I have to admit. You deserve expressions that really fit you. And so I racked my brain, hoping to explain all the things you do to me. Bei mir bist du schön. Please let me explain. Bei mir bist du schön means that you're grand. Bei mir bist du schön. Again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to explain. Bei mir bist du schön. So kiss me and say you'll understand. You're really swell, I have to admit. You deserve expressions that really fit you. And so I've racked my brain, hoping to explain all the things you do to me. Bei mir bist du schön. Please let me explain. Bei mir bist du schön means that you're grand. Bei mir bist du schön. Again I'll explain. It means you're the fairest in the land. I could say Bella, Bella, even say wunderbar. Each language only helps me tell you how grand you are. I've tried to
Irving Berlin was born in Russia, the 8th child of a Jewish cantor. When he was 5 years old, his family's home was burned to the ground in an anti-Jewish pogrom. His only memory of Russia in later life was of his father lying on a blanket by the side of the road just watching the house burn. The family fled across Europe and crossed the pond. At 13, his father died, and so Irving left home rather than be another mouth to feed. He slept in doorways, he sang in saloons for pennies, he couldn't read or write music, he played piano only in the key of F sharp, and he had an assistant transcribe whatever it is he invented. And yet, Irving Berlin, the cantor's son from a burned Russian village, wrote an estimated 1,500 songs over his 60-year career, including the scores for 19 Broadway shows and 18 Hollywood films. He wrote White Christmas. He wrote God Bless America. A Jewish refugee from Tsarist Russia wrote America's unofficial national anthem.
Blue Skies was written in 1927 for a Broadway show called Betsy. It reached the top of the charts, and in 1978, 50 years later, it went to #1 again when Willie Nelson covered it. Bob Dylan recorded it, and the song simply refuses to age because the longing it expresses for clear skies, for better days, and for the sense that things will once again be right never goes out of style. This son of a cantor gave America its music of optimism, and that is indeed immigrant faith turned into sound. And Irving Berlin had a lot of intros that you might not know, so see if you know this one. I was blue, just as blue as I could be. Every day was a cloudy day for me. Then good luck came a knocking at my door. Skies were gray, but not gray anymore. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long. You can snap with me. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on.
Richard Rogers was the son and grandson of Russian Jewish immigrants. Oscar Hammerstein was also the grandson of European Jewish immigrants. Together, they dominated Broadway for nearly 2 decades, creating Oklahoma, Carousel, South Pacific, The King and I, and The Sound of Music. A body of work that won them 35 Tony Awards, 15 Academy Awards, 2 Pulitzer Prizes, and 2 Grammys. My Favorite Things was written for The Sound of Music in 1959, and it was the last show that Rogers and Hammerstein would complete before Hammerstein's death the following year. The song is sung by Maria to comfort children frightened by a thunderstorm. It's a simple act of redirecting anxiety toward gratitude, toward the enumeration of beautiful, small things. It is, in structure and spirit, remarkably close to the bedtime prayers that we say, the Shema, Hashkivenu, the act of naming blessings to ward off fear.
Tonight we pair My Favorite Things with Shalom Aleichem, the welcoming of the Sabbath angels, because both are about what and who we invite into our space. Shalom Alechem says, welcome, peace, come into this home. My favorite thing says, here's what makes life worth living. Both are antidotes to fear, and both are acts of radical presence.
As Rodgers and Hammerstein wrote The Sound of Music, both of them were very, very ill. And yet the show they wrote together is among the most life-affirming works in the Broadway canon. L'chaim, to life, even when perhaps, especially when, life is running out.
Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeichem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamalachim. Let's try it again. Shalom Alechem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Bochem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seichem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamalachim.
We invite you, if you're able, to please rise.
Yitkada ve'yitkada Shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach yidutzeh v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'vchaye lechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman karib v'meru amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam ul'alamei amaya. Yitbarach, Yitbarach, ve'yishtabach, ve'yitpa'ar, ve'yitromam, ve'yitnaseh, ve'yithadar, ve'yit'aleh, ve'yithalal, shemei dekudesha barichu, le'elam min kol birchata ve'shihirata, tushbechata ve'nechemata, damiran be'alma, ve'meru amen.
Please be seated.
Children of Eden is a musical based on the first 9 chapters of Genesis. The composer and lyricist Stephen Schwartz saw in the stories of Adam and Eve, Cain and Abel, and Noah not just ancient myth, but a living exploration of the most human questions. Why do parents struggle to let their children go? How do we break cycles of violence across generations? What does it mean to start again? The central metaphor of the show, that the spark of creation passes from God to humanity, is deeply rooted in Jewish mystical thought. In the Kabbalah's concept of the divine spark scattered throughout the world, waiting to be gathered and redeemed.
Spark of Creation is a song sung by Eve, who has just discovered the tree of knowledge and is overwhelmed by the desire to understand, to ask questions, to go beyond what she has been given. And in Jewish tradition, this questioning impulse is not considered sin. It is, in fact, the beginning of Torah study.
Tonight, our good friend Madeline is going to sing this song.
Beyond, it sounds full of wind and mist, doesn't it? It means other things exist, doesn't it? Beyond, it says, Adam, leave your list, doesn't it? Father, why does my head feel this joy and this dread since the moment I said beyond? I've got an itching on the tips of my fingers. I've got a boiling in the back of my brain. I've got a hunger burning inside me, cannot be denied. I've got a feeling that the Father who made us, when he was kindling the pulse in my veins, he left a tiny spark of the fire smoldering inside. The spark of creation is flickering within me. The spark of creation is blazing in my blood. A bit of the fire that lit up the stars and breathed life into the mud. The first inspiration of the spark of creation. I see a mountain and I want to climb it. I see a river and I want to leave shore. Where there is nothing, let there be something, something made by me. There's things waiting for me to invent them. There's things waiting for me to explore. I am an echo of the eternal cry of let there be. The spark of creation is burning bright within me. The spark of creation won't let me rest at all until I discover or build or uncover a thing that I can call my celebration of the spark of creation. The spark of creation, may it burn forever. The spark of creation, I am the keeper of the flame. We think all we want is a lifetime of leisure, each perfect day the same, and this vacation. Well, that's alright if you're a kind of crustacean, but when you're born with an imagination, sooner or later you're feeling the fire get hotter and higher. The spark of creation.
We have an intro.
So I'm going to need a volunteer. Let's see. What's your name, sir? Shmuel? Come right up. Come up here, sir. So I'm going to have you sit right over here as we sing this song to you. You sit right here. Why don't you come right up here so everyone can see you?
Yeah.
You mind? So this is The Cantor's Lament. It's from an imaginary show that never existed called Schmaltz, a.k.a. Grease, which is the only show tonight not written by Jews, but this is my parody of Beauty School Dropout, and it's called Hebrew School Dropout. I'm going to need some help. Your story's sad to tell, a boy chick ne'er-do-well, most non-compliant student in the shul. Your cantor screaming, oy vey's mir now, with your bar mitzvah looming near now. Can't even get a call back from you, Shmuel. Oh, Shmuel. Oy, 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 oy. Hebrew school dropout. You never learn your aleph bet. Hebrew school dropout. Can't tell a samech from a tet. If you expect to have a party with your friends and dance the hora, you'll have to spend some time each day to practice your Haftarah. Shmuel, get moving.
Shmuel, get moving.
You've got to learn your Amidah, if not for yourself.
If not for yourself,
Then do it for your mom and pa. They've reserved the caterer, the DJ, and the open bar. So stop your fetching and get your Hebrew up to par. I'm telling you. Hebrew school dropout.
Hebrew school dropout.
The fate of our people lies with you. Hebrew school dropout.
Hebrew school dropout.
Just think, what would Moses do if you channeled half the effort you put towards your Instagram story? You'd get twice the ROI when your bar mitzvah cash comes pouring. Shmuel, don't blow it.
You better not blow it.
This is your chance to prove you can. You're only 13,
You're
14.
only 13.
But our religion says now you're a man. Your suit is pressed, your bubby's stressed, your tuition's paid in full. So will you please get off of TikTok and come back to Hebrew school? I don't think he's getting it yet. Shmuel, please, I will literally do anything for you. Just come back to Hebrew school, we can work it out. I'll make it fun. We'll do whatever you want for your theme. Oh, Shmuel! Oh, Shmuel! Oh, Shmuel! Won't you please come back to Hebrew school? Oh, Shmuel! Won't you come back to Hebrew? Oh, Shmuel. Thank you. You're free to go. Maybe one day.
Good job, Shmuel.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, now you want to help.
Jonathan Larson was born in White Plains, New York in 1960 into a Jewish family. Jonathan loved musicals and rock music, and he hoped the show that he was writing, Rent, would have the legacy and impact of the 60s show Hair. Larson died the night before Rent's first off-Broadway preview. He was only 35 years old. The show moved to Broadway and ran for 5,124 performances. Larson was posthumously awarded the Pulitzer Prize for Drama and 4 Tony Awards. Seasons of Love, truly one of my favorites, asks a very Jewish question. How do you measure a life? 525,600 minutes. The minutes of a year. But what do they add up to? The song's answer is the same as the Mishnah's answer. Ahava. Love. By love. In love. Larson's close friend and collaborator, Jonathan Burkhart, said that Seasons of Love grew from Larson's meditation on friends lost to AIDS and his own sense of mortality. It is a song that counts because every person who's ever lived deserves to count.
Ahavat olam, everlasting love, is a blessing we say before the Shema. Reminds us that we are loved with an eternal love, that Torah was given to us as an expression of that love. Larson's question, how do we measure a year, is answered by the Shema. with love, with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your might. Jonathan Larson did not live to see what he had made, but he counted every minute he was given. And tonight, we count our minutes together here in this community. That is enough. That is everything. $525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter, in strife, in 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about love? How about love? Measured in love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
525,600 minutes, 525,000 journeys to plan,
125,600 minutes. How do you measure the life of a woman or a man? In truths that she learned, or in times that he cried,
In bridges he burned, or the way that she died.
It's time now to sing out, though the story never ends. Let's celebrate, remember a year in the life of friends. Ahavato Lam, Ahavato Lam, Ahavato Lam, measure in love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love. 525,600 minutes, 525,000 moments so dear, 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? Ahavato Lam, Ahavato Lam, Ahavato Lam, measure in love. Seasons of love. Seasons of love.
Ragtime is a musical about three groups of Americans at the turn of the 20th century. Black Americans fighting for dignity and justice, wealthy white wasps confronting a changing world, and Jewish immigrants newly arriving on America's shores. The Jewish character Tate, a Latvian Jewish peddler, represents the immigrant dream. His trajectory through the musical mirrors what actually happened to hundreds and thousands of Jewish immigrants, from pushcart to factory to the early film industry. Make Them Hear You is sung by Coalhouse Walker, the black pianist at the center of the story, as he calls his community to witness, to tell the truth, make your voice heard, do not stop until justice is done. It is, in its direct emotional plea, a kind of musical Shema. Hear, listen, receive, and respond.
The Shema is the central act of Jewish prayer. Shema Yisrael, hear, O Israel. We are commanded not just to believe, but to listen. And then ve'ahavta, to act. Love is not a feeling in the Shema, it is a practice. It is what you do with your heart and soul and strength in response to what you have heard.
Ragtime's Jewish peddler starts at the bottom and makes his way. And the show reminds us that the Jewish immigrant story is not separate from the Black American story or the story of women fighting for suffrage. They are woven together. Our Shema tonight is for all of them. We hear, we remember, we act.
Go out and tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And say to those who blame us for the way we choose to fight. And sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. Go out and tell the story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And tell them in our struggles we were not the only ones. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Your sword may be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you when they hear you to be near you.
Marvin Hamlish won 3 Academy Awards in a single evening for The Sting and The Way We Were. And then 1 year later, a chorus line opened and changed Broadway, and I will just say my life forever. A chorus line is about dancers auditioning for a Broadway show, but really it's about anyone who's ever sacrificed everything for love. What I Did for Love is the show's emotional climax. A declaration that the pursuit of art, of meaning, of one's calling is worth everything it costs.
The Ve'ahavta, the paragraph following the Shema, commands us to love God with all our heart, all our soul, and all our might. What Marvin Hamlish's music asks us to feel, and what the Ve'ahavta commands us to do is the same thing, to hold nothing back. Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. wish me luck the same to you. But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvchol nafshecha uvchol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha. Gone, love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol me'odecha
Shana Taub is a contemporary Jewish composer and lyricist who recently won 2 Tony Awards for Suffs, a musical about the women's suffrage movement that she wrote and in which she starred playing suffragist Alice Paul. Suffs is unlike many of the shows that we celebrate tonight. It is not the work of an immigrant generation, but of a Jewish woman who grew up in the full inheritance of the tradition and turned it into and toward new justice. Taub took to heart the words from Pirkei Avot, "You are not obligated to complete the work, but neither are you free to abandon it." Rabbi Tarfon's teaching is the thesis of this entire show. The suffragists did not live to see all the fights won. Neither did we. The work continues. Keep Marching, the show's finale, is a song that refuses to end because the struggle doesn't end. The Mi Chamocha was first sung in Exodus when we escaped Egypt and enslavement, only to realize we still had so far to go. And yet, we kept marching. It could be said that justice is unfinished by design. And so, we keep marching.
I won't live to see the future that I fight for. Maybe no one gets to reach that perfect day. If the work is never over, how do you keep marching anyway? Do you carry the banner as far as you can, rewriting the word with your imperfect pen, till the next stubborn girl picks it up in a picket line over and over again, and you join in the chorus of centuries chanting to her? The path will be twisted and risky and slow, but keep marching, keep marching. Will you fail or prevail? Well, you may never know, but keep marching, keep marching, 'cause your ancestors are all the proof you need that progress is possible, not guaranteed. marching on, keep marching on. And remember every mother that you came from. Learn as much from our success as our mistakes. Don't forget you're merely one of many others on the journey every generation makes. We did not end injustice and neither will you, but still we made strides so we know you can too. Make peace with our incomplete power and use it for good, 'cause there's so much to do. The gains will feel small and the loss is too large. Keep marching, keep marching. You'll rarely agree with whoever's in charge. Keep marching, keep marching. 'Cause your ancestors are all the proof you need that progress is possible, not guaranteed. It will only be made if we keep marching on, keep marching on, keep marching on.
We invite you to please rise.
Adonai, sefatai tiftach, ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'mevii Geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo ve'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh hakol atah Rav le'Oshia, Morid ha'atal, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechayeh hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishnei afar, Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech minit, Umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'neheman atah chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahallelu chasela. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
Please be seated. The Wizard of Oz was released on August 25th, 1939, just days before Hitler invaded Poland and the Holocaust began in earnest. Millions of European Jews who had not yet escaped were in those weeks dreaming of some place over the rainbow, a place where the clouds were far behind them, where skies were blue, where troubles melted like lemon drops. The song they were singing without knowing it had been written by two men whose parents had made it out and who carried that longing in their music. Yip Harburg was born Isidore Hochberg in 1896 on the Lower East Side of New York and wrote over 600 songs, including Brother, Can You Spare a Dime? the anthem of the Great Depression, and he was blacklisted during the McCarthy era for his socialist political convictions. But the world knows him for one song about a girl and a rainbow.
There's a land I heard of once in a lullaby. In Jewish mystical tradition, the world to come, Olam Haba, is not a place you arrive only after death. It's the world you can touch on Shabbat. And tonight we touch it. We are somewhere over the rainbow, right now, in this moment.
When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found, leading from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. So where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops, that's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why then, oh why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I?
We take a brief moment to think of those in our congregation, in our community, who are in need of healing on this Shabbat. I think of Ryan Cosson, Jerry Littner, Nancy Holab Nevins, Vera Weitzman, Margin Cotton, Rick Margartioff, Sherry Goldberg, Kim Keller, Abby Sandberg, and Olivia Fogel. Please share the names you are thinking of. For all those in need of healing, we say, Misha Berach Avatenu v'Imotenu, Hui v'Yivarech v'Yirapeh Kol HaMikotenu. May the one who blessed our ancestors who came before us bless all those who are in need of healing. Im refuat nefesh v'refuat haguf, im refuat shlema. with a healing of soul and a healing of body, a complete healing, even if that means just a cessation from pain. Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, who brings healing to the sick, and together we say,
Amen.
Amen. I'd like to invite everyone to please rise for Mourner's Kaddish as I share the names of those whose yortzites we are honoring this Shabbat. Samuel Bedney, Fanny Cohen, Phyllis Tenenbaum Cohen, Ben Duchin, Richard Feinberg, Anthony Belmore Frohl, Milton Goldberg, Irvine Harris Greenspan, Alice Pauline Hill Frohl, Alan Hindus, John Holmes Wolfarth, Virginia Kimbrough, Margaret Elizabeth Kirby, Rose Pebluda Koplow, Francis Light, David Gardner Pittner, Abe Rappaport, Sam Rosenberg, Mildred Rosenfeld, Hy Roth, Jeffrey B. Rothman, Morris Saltzman, Albert Schlesinger, Jean Schwaber, Sarah Seidner, Sam Harold Tuckman, Michael H. Weinberg, Joseph Witkin, Edith R. Zucker. And we continue mourning for Florence Wittenstein, Amber Ellis, Karen Cantor, and Justin Joel Cohn. If I neglected to mention the name of a loved one, please do so at this time. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, ve'omad divrach yirotei ve'amlich malchutei, b'chayakon u'biomechon u'chayei lekol beit Yisrael, ba'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mivarach leolam olmei almaya. Yitvarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei kudashab riku. Le'em lamin kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imru amen. Osei shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. We say zichronam livracha. May those who are and have been a blessing to us always be on our minds and bring joy by their memory. Together we say amen.
Amen. I think we need a kiddush, and then we have a closing song
All
that
right.
I bet you'll be able to guess. So let's do our kiddush, and let's bring everyone back up. And also, I want to say a big thank you to our wonderful singers tonight. Rachel Sonnenberg, Madeline Statter, Ava Doyle, and Isabella Doyle. Thank you so much. And Rabbi Lori and Micah Snow on the piano. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Micah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. L'chaim.
L'chaim. And speaking of L'chaim,
To our prosperity.
To our good health and happiness.
And most importantly,
To life. To life. L'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. If you've been lucky, then Monday was no worse than Sunday was. Drink l'chaim to life, to life. L'chaim. L'chaim, l'chaim, to life. Life has a way of confusing us, blessing and bruising us. Drink l'chaim to life. Our great men have written words of wisdom to be used when hardship must be faced. Life obliges us with hardship, so the words of wisdom shouldn't go to waste. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes. Drink l'chaim. To life, to life, to life, l'chaim, 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 to life. Life has a way of confusing us, blessing and bruising us. Drink l'chaim to life, l'chaim, 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 to life. A gift we seldom are wise enough, ever to prize enough. Drink l'chaim to life. We'll raise a glass and sip a drop of schnapps in honor of the great good luck that favors you. We know that when good fortune favors two, such men it stands to reason we deserve it too. To us and our good fortune, be happy, be healthy, long life. And if our good fortune never comes, here's to whatever comes. Drink l'chaim to life. Here we go. Now in Russian, Zava Shastarovia, heaven bless you both, Nazdrovia, to your health, and may we live together in peace. Zava Shastarovia, heaven bless you both, Nazdrovia, to your health, and may we live together in peace. May you both be favored with the future of your choice. May you live to see 1,000 reasons to rejoice. Shabbat shalom!
Shabbat shalom! Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom! I feel good. Hi, thanks. Thank you for that reinforcement.